You can't make this up. Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor who just slapped ordinary Brits with one of the most punishing inheritance tax raids in British history, has now been hit with a Supreme Court seizure order over her own inheritance scheme. Let that sink in. While hard-working families earning £20,000 a year are staring down the barrel of £170,000 inheritance tax bills, Rachel Reeves herself has been exposed. Caught red-handed, using every shady trick in the book to keep her family fortune away from the taxman. This is the mother of all hypocrisies. She spent months lecturing the country on fairness. She claimed this tax would only hit the rich, but behind closed doors, she was doing the very thing she condemned: evasion disguised as planning. And now the Supreme Court has stepped in and seized her estate. According to insiders, Reeves set up offshore vehicles, transferred property assets to shell family trusts, and even rerouted pension pots, all to dodge the same tax bomb she dropped on millions of us. The outrage is nuclear. Welcome back to Britain Times. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe with the bell on. Now, let's continue with the latest UK news coming up next. This is the same woman who proudly declared that from 2027, pensions would be taxed as part of your estate. So, if you save for retirement, if you act responsibly, if you do what every government has begged you to do, she'll hit your family with a 40% bill when you die, even if you earn £20,000 a year. Even if you live in a £268,000 home, below average in many parts of the country. Even if your pension pot is just enough to get by. But when her turn came, she shielded everything. And now, thanks to a bombshell legal challenge, the Supreme Court has ruled that Reeves's asset transfers were a deliberate avoidance of public taxation policy and has ordered a full seizure and review of her inherited estate. This isn't just a scandal, this is a meltdown. Labour's entire narrative has exploded. Rachel Reeves, their moral figurehead on tax justice, has just been exposed as a two-faced operator, punishing the poor while protecting herself. Let's look at what she did to us. She froze the inheritance tax threshold at £325,000 despite inflation and surging house prices. She classed pensions as taxable estates, even modest pots built over decades of work. She doubled the number of families dragged into inheritance tax from 5% to 10% of estates. She targeted savers, not spenders, builders, not shirkers. And she did it all while the Treasury quietly admitted they expect an extra 121,000 families a year to get hit with massive death taxes under Reeves's regime. But when it came to her family wealth, she ran for cover. The same loopholes she refused to close for billionaires were suddenly good enough for her own trust funds, and the court saw right through it. One judge reportedly described her scheme as a cynical exploitation of the very laws she pretended to uphold. How many families will lose their inheritance? Modest pensions, a house, some savings, while Reeves walked away with her own untaxed fortune. Not anymore. Thanks to this historic court ruling, her family wealth is being frozen, scrutinised, and clawed back by the very system she tried to game. And the public is furious. This wasn't just a policy disaster, it was a moral betrayal. This was supposed to be about making the rich pay their share. But under Labour, the rich get exemptions, as long as they wear the right red rosette. What Reeves did is exactly why people no longer trust Westminster. You're told to save, you're told to invest in a pension, you're told to be self-reliant and responsible. But when you do, Labour swoops in and takes 40% at the moment your family is most vulnerable. Meanwhile, their own front bench, the architects of this raid, escape the same rules. Let's be absolutely clear. This isn't just a misunderstanding. This is deliberate, calculated deceit, and it's wrecking our economy. We now have the lowest investment in the G7. Productivity is 20% lower than in the US. Entrepreneurs are selling businesses instead of passing them down because Reeves made inheritance so toxic, so punishing, it's not even worth the effort. And let's not forget, the very foundation of trust in public office depends on transparency and leading by example. When those in power make rules for others but live by a different set, the social contract breaks down. Millions of families across the UK are now rethinking their future plans. Should they continue saving? Should they invest in property or pensions if they risk being punished for it later? This is the official channel of Britain Times. We only share authentic and verified UK news. We do not upload fake news or misinformation. Thank you for trusting Britain Times. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for daily updates. Stay connected for reliable UK news and updates.